I'm an immunologist working in Trinity College Dublin with a big research group, and our area is biomedical research. We're trying to discover new treatments for diseases like rheumatoid arthritis and diseases of the immune system. I guess I became a scientist in school, of course. It usually starts there, and we had a great biology teacher, I remember, and he got me into science, I guess, initially. And then I was drawn to it for two reasons. First of all, it's a wonderful profession to be in because you're making brand new discoveries about the world. I mean, what can be better than that? To go into work every day and have the chance of making a really interesting new discovery. And I often use the Christopher Columbus example to kind of, go out there and discover new things. That was the motivation initially. The second reason I became a scientist was even better. Your discoveries might help people, and you might make a discovery of a new drug or a new treatment for a disease or a new diagnostic. So it was a combination of the wonderment of the world and discovery in the world, and then also maybe doing something useful. In terms of support for science in Ireland, it really changed in the past 10 years. So 10, 12 years ago, we weren't really at the races. I mean, we had some pockets of excellence, of course we did. But then the government decided to invest heavily in science. And an organisation called Science Foundation Ireland began to invest heavily in basic research. And we've been very clever in that we've invested in real areas of strength. And one would be immunology, for instance, my area. We're now third in the world in immunology, which is a wonderful achievement over the course of that 10-year period for such a small country. And it's a credit to the investment from the government. And secondly, the people we have here were able to do this outstanding research that brought us up those league tables into third position. We have a cohort of students coming through every year, the education system. These are perfectly poised to join us in the universities, to make discoveries, and then from there to innovate. And every country's looking for talent, and we have the talent here. Last year I was lucky enough to get the Boyle Medal, which is Ireland's most prestigious award for science. And it was for my research in the immune system, and I'd made a number of discoveries, I guess over my whole career, to do with the underlying mechanisms of the immune system, which were seen as important. And one example would be in rheumatoid arthritis, and that medal was in recognition of these fundamental discoveries that again will hopefully turn into new treatments for disease like arthritis. And of course, if you do make discoveries, you would want to commercialise them into something useful, and you need financial backing for that. And the venture capital community here has grown in the past 4 or 5 years, and will continue to grow with recent government initiatives. Because my real dream is to make my discoveries mean something. And of course, to do that, you have to talk to industry, because they will take my ideas and my discoveries and make them into a product or a service or some kind of development that might actually help people. So the interaction with industry I see as a really important aspect of what we do here. One very good example is with Pfizer, for instance. We've had a long relationship with them in my lab, and they're very interested in what we do here. And in fact, I'm a consultant with Pfizer in the US. And of course, that's wonderful because they're bringing that little commercial angle to what we do. They value what we do because we're making the discoveries. And of course, a company like Pfizer, or Merck is another example actually, that they will actually take these discoveries and hopefully make them into something useful. The government at the moment is really pushing innovation, like many governments are. It's usual around Europe now, for even the European Union is pushing this as a key theme. You're competing with the brightest and the best all around the world. The question then becomes, can Ireland do it? And I absolutely believe we can. And the reason for that is, again, we've the people. We're producing outstanding young people really to go into the business of science and commercialization, and it begins with that. And then, of course, once you've got the financial backing as well, that will mix, and then you'll hopefully see success there. So having it as a key plank of government policy is a wonderful thing, I think.